This is part two to my first video. Who's the better leader, LeBron James or Tom Brady? I'm gonna let Skip finish.
He doesn't like the way he's coming at it.
He's snatching people up.
Yeah, he is. And he's liable to grab you right around your throat in the locker room right before tip-off and say, you will give me 15 points and 7 rebounds or whatever he needs from you. And you're like, yes, sir, I got you.
Yeah, Michael Jordan, he did lead in a different kind of way. He led by more of intimidation. I heard an interview from Horace Grant saying that, Michael Jordan used to talk to him crazy and he didn't like it. And we all know the famous quote from Bill Cartwright, the center for the former center for the Chicago Bulls back in that time. He told Michael Jordan, if you talk to me like that, I'm gonna break your legs. You're not gonna be able to play basketball. So yeah, Michael Jordan had a different way of leading, which I don't subscribe to that way of leading. Putting your hands on people like he hit Steve Kerr in the eye. Him and Steve Kerr was going back and forth in practice. So yes, but I don't subscribe to leading like that.
And yet, now let's get back to LeBron James. Let's get back to these comments because I can't condemn them, but I will take exception to them. I'm not.
No, you can't condemn them because it's just Magic Johnson's opinion. It's one man's opinion. Like Shannon Sharp said, it's hard to quantify who's the greatest leader. I don't know how you quantify that unless you're a part of the organization and you around the guy a lot and you can see how he moves, you see how he talks, you see how he is in doing adversity. You see how he handle guys in certain situations. So it's hard for anybody to say one person is the greatest leader in sports.
I'm going to condemn them because they're coming from the mouth of.
But like I said, it's just Magic Johnson integrating, and making LeBron James feel more comfortable, because he's a Laker now, and the whole piece of debacle went awry with LeBron James saying, haven't been to a pizza party in a while. He was giving out free pizza and people thought he was coming.
Greatest basketball leader ever. But let's just remember, just for perspective, Magic has to say these things about LeBron now because LeBron is his guy. He's his everything. He's his ticket back to basketball paradise here in Los Angeles. So he has to try to pump up LeBron. He has to try to sell LeBron, even to sell LeBron on himself. Because to me, LeBron does have some leadership deficiencies. And maybe Magic is going to subtly coach those out of him. Maybe there's another...
To me, his leader's deficiency is when things go wrong, he either throws temper tantrums or he tweets crazy things. So like I said, LeBron James is a situational leader. He's a great leader or a good leader or whatever you want to say, how you want to quantify it, is when things go well. And that's a lot of people. A lot of people can do things when things go well. It's when adversity hit. That's when you see what's really inside a person. When adversity hits. When things are not going well.
Level to achieve for LeBron James under Magic in LA.
Well, Skip, I think everybody has deficiency. There's no such thing as a perfect leader. There's no such thing as a perfect this.
No, there's no such thing as a perfect leader, Shannon, but a leader has to lead and be consistent leader when it's an up and down day. When it's an up day, when one day everything is going well and when things are not going well, he has to exemplify the same type of leadership whether things are going well and things are not going well. You have to see consistent thing. You can't see, the leader cannot be wavering from moment to moment, or when things are not going well, now he wants to do things this way.
So perfect that. But I think when you add the totality of what LeBron has been able to do and where he's been able to do it at 3 different locations, Magic, it's hard for me to believe that Magic Johnson would go so far and...
Now don't put in the same thing a success as far as being a great leader. Now, yes, LeBron James has won titles everywhere he's went so far. The 2 places he went, Cleveland and Miami, he's won titles. But don't mistake success for being a great leader, Shannon. It's not mutually the same thing.
To heap so much hyperbole, I believe Magic believed. He didn't have to go all overboard. He could have said, LeBron James is a great player. I'm glad he's a great leader. He didn't have to go this far.
But Shannon Sharp, the reason why he went that far is his opinion. You know, his opinion is from him looking from the outside in, or him knowing LeBron James to a certain degree. I'm not sure they even spent a lot of time together, so I don't know how he can quantify that unless Magic Johnson had a lot of discussions and a lot of, you know, talk and rapport with a lot of his former teammates. That's the only way, to me, Magic can come up with this scenario, or, you know, to this judgment. But unless he did that, I don't know how he, you know, came up with it.
Greatest leader in sports? Wow.
He didn't say sports. That was Skip. He said
No, I know.
playing.
I got it. And to this point, it's interesting. If you just look at the NBA, it has recently lost some all-time great leaders. Tim Duncan was
Right.
an all-time great leader and face of franchise.
Right.
And Kobe Bryant, in his second incarnation, post-Shaq, he
Yes, Tim Duncan was a great leader.
became a Jordan-esque kind of
Right.
leader. So I'm going to give him an all-time great leadership vote.
And Duncan's leadership was way
I don't know about Kobe Bryant's leadership though, Skip. I don't know.
different than Kobe's.
Way
different than
Way
LeBron's.
It was quiet, but it was quietly powerful.
He's an example guy.
I continue to tell you, LeBron James is still the best point guard in basketball. So just by virtue of that, I'm going to give you he's the best floor leader in basketball to this day. And he had obviously an all-time great offensive year last year running the Cavaliers offense, which revolved around him. But he was the initiator and the finisher of that offense.
But look, when you're a leader, you have to empower the people that you're leading over. I think LeBron James is he's a dictator. You know, he's a great dictator. He likes to dictate. That's why he holds the ball in his hand. That's why he has the ball in his hand a lot. Because he doesn't empower his teammates. Like, George Hill should have been able to at least bring the ball up more than he did. I'm pretty sure he probably would have felt more of the offense. He would have felt more, you know, empowered within the offense of being the point guard. I'm not saying he had to initiate the whole offense all the time, but in basketball, players don't feel like they're into the game unless they really touch the basketball. And when you play on LeBron James, you're not going to touch the basketball a whole lot unless you're just about to shoot.
So that's all-time greatness to me on the floor.
Okay.
But we're talking about transcendent leadership.
Right.
We're talking about big picture. And before I get to my number one, I'm going to say
LeBron James is just way too emotional to be a great leader, in my opinion. He's just way too emotional.
Dwayne Wade is still an active player. He's an all-time great leader. For my money, Dwayne Wade has been a greater leader than LeBron is.
I agree with that.
Now, again, he's on his last legs, almost literally. So is he disqualified?
When LeBron James went down to Miami and played with Dwayne Wade, I believe he learned a lot about leadership and learned a lot about the game. I know a lot of people are like, well, how can he learn something from Dwayne Wade? Dwayne Wade had already won and already had been the main guy in winning a championship back in 2006.
From this conversation, he's still an active NBA player.
No.
Huh?
No.
Okay, so to me, he's a greater leader than LeBron was because he taught LeBron a lot of leadership values when LeBron took his talents to South Beach.
I love how, man, so many people get credit for LeBron's success. Wow.
Wow. Okay, so now let's go to the greatest leader in sports. LeBron James does not belong in the same universe on leadership when it comes to Tom Brady. And you're going to give Belichick some credit for that. But the face of that franchise, the greatest franchise in the NFL, a dynastic franchise, is Tom Brady. And he doesn't just lead the offense, he leads both units. Because I'm going to remind you, during last year's Super Bowl, when Malcolm Butler was torn apart over why am I not in the game, and he's crying on the sideline, did he go to the defense?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot of, you know, former players that played with Tom Brady saying bad things about Tom Brady as far as leadership. You have heard players come out and talk about how LeBron James loves drama. And he is kind of a person that starts that drama. So I never heard a lot of Tom Brady teammates say that he was not a good leader. So I believe Tom Brady is a good leader. Now, is he a greater leader is he the greatest leader today? I don't know that. It's hard to quantify that.
Offensive captain, Devin McCourty? Nope, he went straight to the quarterback. He went to Tom Brady because he wanted Brady to sign off on this. He wanted Brady to try to put this fire out. He wanted Brady to go to Belichick and say, what the hell are we doing here? And whatever transpired on the sideline, I don't know. But that shows you that Brady is the leader of that locker room. And whatever issues they've ever had, he remains.
You know, they're going to go on and on. But like I said, it's hard to quantify who's the greater leader between the two. But all I know is I didn't like the way LeBron James just melted down on the sideline and in that game one in the finals when they still had overtime to possibly win the game. And to me, he threw a temper tantrum. And like I said, it's different. An adult gets upset. A kid throws a temper tantrum. He threw a temper tantrum and he mentally checked out. They lost the series. I thought they was going to lose the series anyway. But they really lost the series right to his team. Because as your leader goes, your team goes. And mentally he checked out, so his team checked out. So that's what I had to say about it. Let me know what y'all got to say about it, man. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out.